Imagine the California beaches, where waves crash against the shore, the sun sets at just the right angle, and the lifeguards look like they stepped straight out of a glossy calendar shoot. Baywatch was a time capsule of 90s excess, a show that made life seem better in slow motion, and where everything felt bigger, bolder, and just a little bit ridiculous. At its heart, Baywatch followed Mitch Buchanan, the patron saint of slow motion running, and his team of impossibly attractive lifeguards as they protected the shores of Los Angeles. And by protected, we don't just mean saving swimmers from riptides, these lifeguards did it all. But Baywatch wasn't just about the action. It was about the emotions, the drama, and those iconic red swimsuits that somehow managed to be both practical and totally impractical at the same damn time. And while the true star of the show might have been the slow motion sequences, today we're taking a look at how the main cast has aged since they last ran down the beach to save the day. So grab your sunscreen, hit that red button and bell, and let's dive right into the sandy beaches of La La Land. At 37, David Hasselhoff officially became the rock of the 90s when he stepped into the role of Mitch Buchanan. By the time Baywatch hit screens, he was already a household name thanks to Knight Rider, but playing Mitch was the final push needed to catapult him to global icon status. Through Hasselhoff's earnest and delightfully melodramatic performance, Mitch became a symbol of selflessness and resilience. He wasn't just dedicated to his job, he was devoted to his team and the ocean itself. He was the kind of guy who would lock eyes with you as he pulled you from a riptide, silently assuring you that every single rescue was personal. By the end of his Baywatch run, Hasselhoff was a full-fledged superstar, using his fame to branch out into music, reality TV, and hilariously self-aware comedy cameos. Now, at 72, he's fully embraced his campy legacy, and his willingness to laugh at himself has only made him more lovable over time. Next up, we have C.J. Parker, the heart of Baywatch and the woman who redefined the word bombshell. At 25, Pamela Anderson slipped into that iconic red swimsuit and became a pop culture phenomenon. What started as the pretty face of the team grew into a fully realized character. CJ developed meaningful friendships, grappled with personal struggles like self-worth, and proved that beauty and depth could absolutely coexist. Through Anderson's portrayal, CJ became the show's gentle soul that could save your life and then offer you heartfelt advice about following your dreams. After hanging up her lifeguard whistle, Pamela used her Baywatch fame to become a true pop culture powerhouse. She starred in movies, graced countless Playboy covers, and became a fierce advocate for animal and environmental rights, showing the world that caring about causes and looking good in a bikini weren't mutually exclusive. Today, at 57, she's embraced natural beauty and self-reflection, stepping back from the spotlight to focus on living life on her own terms. And honestly, that just makes her even more iconic. You can't be the father figure to a band of beachside heroes without some real-life parenting experience, and that's where Mitch's son, Hobie Buchanan, came in. Over the course of Baywatch, Hobie was portrayed by a few actors, but the role is most closely tied to Jeremy Jackson, who stepped into the character's shoes at just 10 years old. Hobie was the show's resident beach kid, offering a younger perspective on life by the ocean. Playful, rebellious, and full of heart, he had a knack for getting into trouble, but thanks to Mitch's steady guidance and the occasional heart-to-heart, Hobie always walked away with a life lesson. He grew up before viewers' eyes, evolving from a mischievous kid to a young man learning to navigate love, friendship, and the weight of responsibility. Jeremy Jackson's post-Baywatch life has been far more turbulent than his on-screen counterpart's journey. His adult years were marked by struggles with addiction and legal issues, but his story didn't end there. Today, at 44, he's worked hard on his recovery and found a new passion in fitness, embracing personal growth and using his experiences to inspire others. While Hobie may have left the beaches of Los Angeles behind, Jeremy's ongoing journey reminds us that even after the stormiest waves, calm seas are always possible. Next, we have Mitch's no-nonsense counterpart and the team's steady anchor, Lieutenant Stephanie Holden. Alexandra Paul was just 26 when she first suited up in Baywatch's iconic red swimsuit, bringing a powerful mix of grit and grace to the role. Stephanie was fierce, independent, and a born leader. She wasn't afraid to dive into tough storylines, tackling everything from her battle with cancer to navigating complicated relationships, including a brief romance with Mitch while she was married. Through it all, she remained the team's moral compass, balancing strength with vulnerability in a way that made her one of the show's most beloved characters. Her tragic death in a boating accident was one of Baywatch's most gut-wrenching moments, proving the show could deliver heartbreak alongside the high-stakes rescues. After her time on the beach, Alexandra Paul channeled her passion into activism, becoming a dedicated advocate for environmental and animal rights. Now 61, she continues to age with grace, balancing her advocacy work with indie film projects and staying true to the compassionate spirit she brought to Stephanie. Stephanie may have been written off the show, but her legacy and Alexandra's unwavering dedication to making a difference still shines just as bright as those California sunsets. John Weatherly was already a seasoned star at 30 when she first suited up as Jill Riley, bringing her Miss Universe poise and an effortless charm to the sandy shores of Los Angeles. Jill was more than just a lifeguard, she was a beacon of warmth and compassion, the kind of person who made every beachgoer feel like they were in safe hands. Beneath her sunny disposition, though, was a fearless warrior who never hesitated to dive into danger, whether she was rescuing stranded swimmers or standing up for her fellow lifeguards. After leaving the show, Weatherly gradually stepped back from acting to focus on her family, trading Hollywood glamour for a quieter life. Now, 65, she lives far from the spotlight, a reminder that sometimes the brightest stars are content to shine from afar. But to fans, she'll always be the first heart of Baywatch, gone too soon but never forgotten. Billy Warlock was 28 when he brought to life the tough, street-smart lifeguard that was Eddie Kramer. Eddie wasn't your typical beach hunk, he carried the weight of a troubled past and often found himself clashing with authority figures, but that never dulled his commitment to protecting people. Whether he was saving a drowning tourist or fiercely defending his friends, Eddie brought an intensity to the team that balanced out the show's more carefree characters. His fiery romance with Shawnee was the stuff of 90s TV gold, full of dramatic breakups, tearful reconciliations, and enough angst to fill an entire season. But beneath the melodrama, their relationship helped Eddie grow, teaching him to trust and open up in ways he never thought possible. After his time on Baywatch, Warlock returned to his soap opera roots, making waves on Days of Our Lives and General Hospital. Eventually, he stepped away from the industry to embrace a quieter life. Now at 63, he might be out of the limelight, but his portrayal of Eddie, raw, intense, and deeply human, remains a vital part of what made Baywatch more than just a show about slow-motion running. At just 20, Erica Eleniak brought a blend of innocence and quiet strength to Shawnee McClain, the rookie lifeguard who evolved into a cornerstone of the early Baywatch seasons. McClain started as the wide-eyed girl next door, struggling to balance her inexperience with her desire to prove herself. But as the seasons unfolded, she grew into a confident, capable rescuer. Her relationship with Eddie was one of the show's most compelling storylines, filled with enough ups and downs to rival a soap opera. But it wasn't just about romance. Through her personal struggles, Shawnee learned to stand on her own, proving that inner strength wasn't about never falling, but about always getting back up. After leaving the show, Eleniak found success in films like Under Siege and The Beverly Hillbillies, but would later step back from acting to focus on personal wellness and self-discovery. Now at 55, she's embraced a quieter life, but her portrayal of Shawnee remains a fan-favorite reminder that growth, resilience, and love can bloom even in the most unexpected places. Yasmine Bleeth was 25 when she first stormed onto the Baywatch set as Caroline Holden, the fiery, impulsive little sister of Stephanie, who brought chaos and charm in equal measure. Caroline was the team's wild card, often letting her emotions dictate her decisions, which led to plenty of drama both on and off the beach. But beneath her reckless exterior was a woman desperate to prove herself, constantly trying to step out of her sister's shadow and be seen as a capable lifeguard in her own right. Caroline's journey was one of growth and self-discovery. She stumbled, made mistakes, and sometimes let her temper get the best of her, but every misstep was a lesson that shaped her into a stronger, more grounded person. Whether she was navigating messy relationships or throwing herself into dangerous rescues, Caroline's fiery spirit made her impossible to ignore. Bleeth became a TV sensation post-Baywatch, but fame came with its struggles. She battled addiction and eventually stepped back from acting to focus on recovery. Now, at 56, she lives a quiet, private life, but her portrayal of Caroline, flawed, passionate, and full of heart, remains an unforgettable part of the Baywatch legacy. David Charvet was just 20 when he stepped onto the beach as Matt Brody, the brooding bad boy with a tragic past and enough inner turmoil to power an entire season of drama. Matt was the classic tortured heartthrob, cocky on the outside but carrying enough emotional baggage to sink a lifeboat on the inside. He clashed with authority, self-destructed in his relationships, and often pushed people away, but his vulnerability made him impossible not to root for. Under all the bravado, Matt was a guy just trying to outrun his demons, using the beach as both a sanctuary and a battlefield. Watching him try and often fail to get his life together was frustrating, heartbreaking, and at times, painfully relatable. After leaving Baywatch, David found success as a singer in Europe before transitioning to real estate. Now 52, he's built a life far removed from his TV heartthrob days. But for fans, he'll always be the brooding lifeguard who showed that even the most broken people could find redemption, if they just kept swimming. David Chokachi was 27 when he became Cody Madison, the golden-haired, adrenaline-fueled daredevil who treated every rescue like a personal challenge. Cody was the team's resident thrill-seeker, always looking for the next big wave or the next impossible rescue. But this reckless energy was balanced by an unwavering loyalty to his friends and a heart big enough to hold the entire beach. Cody brought levity to the show, cracking jokes and keeping things light, but he also had his share of emotional moments. Whether he was navigating complicated relationships or facing personal doubts, Cody's journey was about learning that strength wasn't just about physical endurance, but emotional resilience too. Chokachi stayed busy in TV and film post-Baywatch and became an advocate for ocean conservation, blending his love of the water with real-world activism. Now 57, he's still as sun-kissed as ever, proving that some beach boys never really leave the shore. At its core, Baywatch was about more than lifeguards and beach rescues. It was about heart, hope, and the power of second chances. Thanks for joining us on this trip down memory lane, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more nostalgia-filled dives into classic movies and TV's most iconic shows.